Hello again, everybody. Today, out here with the old Dodge 2500, and I'm going to see if I can remedy a few things that I found with it. Let me spin you around and we'll go over what all's been done and what all is still yet to do. Okay, so y'all remember I was having trouble with the alternator. I got it charging, but I found this one, which is 150 amp, and it came with a 90 amp. I did leave the factory size wire. I think that wire will be okay. This one right here, that wire should be fine. I think they use the same wire and just put a different alternator on, so they just make one wiring harness for this truck, in other words. So that wire should be fine for the 150 amp alternator, and it seems to work really good. I still have this old battery in here, and it's working okay, so we'll just leave that. Now I did put, this is what I was talking about the other day with a tractor air cleaner. I think I just need to get an air cleaner element in there, and I'll be able to remove this. But okay, one more thing, or a couple of things that I want to show you that it's doing. Okay, so first off, one thing I think I already showed is when you turn the key on and you pull it into gear, you can see the indicator there. There's quite a bit of movement. Now, that may just be the indicator, but I'm not feeling very much with the, it is clicking into gears. Let's just check and see if the gears it's kicking into are the gears it's supposed to be. Okay, so it's running. Let's hit reverse. That is most definitely reverse because it just jumped backwards 40 feet. Okay, now neutral. Revving and not moving. Okay. Next, drive. That seems to be drive. 2, 1. Yeah, I can't tell any difference in those, but that is definitely neutral. Definitely reverse. Okay, so I think I know what I need to do here. Something I've kind of figured out. Seems like it will work. Okay, we're not going anywhere. Okay, now down here, now in the transmission there is also a detent that holds it in place, but now I do need to grease up the linkage. You can see the part that moves, that goes down the column, and I can feel the individual gears. I think it may be out of adjustment a little bit because right there it doesn't feel like it's all the way in first yet, but it seems everything else works pretty good. Okay, so outside under the hood, let me show you. Okay, down in here under the hood there is this piece of linkage right here, and that connects to the column right here, comes out, and there's linkage leading down. Now this is for going to the transmission. It's a little more complicated. I thought it was just a cable, but it's seems like they complicated it a little more than they had to. Okay, so we're under the truck now, and this is the rod right there. So I got my hand up here. This is the rod right here that leads from that connection up there, leads down through here, and apparently, pardon the dog for breathing, he's breathing really hard. Anyway, right here I think is an adjustment where you can adjust it so you can fine tune it. Now this actually goes to kind of a little, I guess, jack shaft kind of thing that comes over, and right here is a little jack shaft that leads it over to this rod. Let me see. There we go. it leads to this rod. You know, okay, there's a little jack shaft with a wire wrapped around it. I don't know what that wire is. Huh. Oh, I know what that wire is. That is what's holding the whole thing together, apparently. So we'll have to address that. It's supposed to have a pin in it. This looks kind of concerning to me. I can't imagine that it is supposed to have these weld marks on it. I don't know who has welded this back up, but I mean, it seems to work. This is the connection in the at the transmission. So what I'm going to try, I'm just going to try oiling all the connection points that I can find. Here, this connection point. And we can also oil up this. Make sure everything moves well. And I'm going to put some oil down in here. So let me go get something to grease this up with. Okay, so right there. Wish I could find that buzzer, I'd unhook it, but yeah. Okay, so right in here, I'm just going to spray. I got some PB Blaster here. And we'll just douse this down with it. And get it all over my pants. That's nice. Guess I can move my foot. Okay. And I am just going to work this up and down. And there we go. It is feeling absolutely no different than it was before, so that's good. I don't think I'm really affecting anything. But let's oil up the rest of the joints and let's see if there's any difference. Okay, so as far as making it easier, I think it did make it a little easier to shift. Yeah, it shifts easier now, and you can feel the detents between gears. Now, one thing I think would help is if it got to right here and the shifter wouldn't move. You know what I mean? I think the problem is the shifter moves around right here. And if you can see on this little metal plate right here, let me pull this all the way down. Okay, on this little metal plate, you have this, which moves in and out when you pull the shifter back. That moves in and out. And that engages these very, very fine notches. They're not very... Park is the only one that really engages. So, now if I want to put it up into reverse, which is right there, makes it a little harder to see now, but you can see that there's not that much of a thing there. It keeps it from going up any farther, but it doesn't really hold it in place. I would like for that to hold it. So I'm going to try, see if I can get something in there to file that down. Because I think if I can file or drill that down a little bit, that would hold this shifter in place. And that would probably solve some of our problem with our sloppy shifting. Okay, so I made some progress. I got my welder in here. I tried filing that down and it just wouldn't file for the reverse part. I did get it to file down. I don't know if you can even see it on the part for the drive. I need to get another blade for my little multi-tool thing, but I got it where it kind of holds a little bit here, but I need to file that down just a little bit more, then it will hold it in drive. The problem I'm having, now reverse works great. Let me take that off. A little bit more. Okay. Reverse, once you get it in reverse, that holds good now. That doesn't go anywhere. But the drive, once you get it into drive, it holds a little bit. Not very well, but one thing I've found drive is not there. Drive is actually about there, which means our adjustment's off a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to go under there and see where that much difference is. Okay. Okay, so I got that figured out. I got this adjusted. Now what I did is I put it down into drive, which, man, this pulled way up here. Now what it was doing, it wasn't going into drive when it said it was in drive. So I loosened, I took I think it's actually a 1/2 inch, but I took a 13 millimeter and I loosened that up and I pushed this piece right here up just a little bit and then tightened it back down. Now when I put it into where it's supposed to be in drive, it's actually in drive. So let me show you. Okay, so now from in here, if you can see the shifter indicator there, let me start it up. Okay, now when I go into where it says reverse, that is most definitely reverse. You can feel that right away anyhow. I didn't have a problem getting it into reverse. Now it does hold better now that I put the little bit of a weld bead on there to hold it. And also put one for neutral. Now as you can see, when you go into neutral right here, that is neutral, and I have a good solid bead of weld right there that holds it from going into reverse accidentally, which is what's supposed to be there anyway. Okay, now when we go down here in that notch, that's drive now. And if you look at our indicator, it is showing drive. So that's exactly what we needed. And we can go, that's 2, 1. So there's neutral. I mean, I can feel it. You can't really feel it, but I can feel it whenever yeah, you might have been able to see that little jump. Okay, so that, I think I have my transmission issue fixed. Now another problem that I had with this truck, and I think I figured out what it is. I'll put the camera underneath there to try to figure it out. But as you can see, there is like, I'm turning the wheels, or the steering wheel, that much. Now, you may notice a complete lack of movement of the driving wheels. So yeah, this truck about put me in the ditch testing it out the other day, because I ended up taking it for a little test drive, and I was like this trying to keep it straight back and forth. That's not going to work, so we need to figure out what's going on there. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to move the steering wheel, and I want y'all to watch right here and tell me if that joint moves. I have a suspicion that it is. Okay, so one thing is, I think we have our suspension problem figured out. And I do have one of those bars ordered because I wanted to, the other side's bad too. The other bushing is bad too. But that bushing is also, or that ball joint is moving back and forth, as you can see. Now, those parts are on the way. It's 4th of July weekend, so I don't know if it's going to get here. But alright, so it's the next day, and guess what showed up? Right here. We have our track bar. If you can see it. Let me pick this thing up. That's the problem right there. It's actually, see that little joint right there? Little ball joint? That is our only problem with this bar. Well, the rubber on this end is kind of wore too, but so you could replace the one on this end. This is just a bushing. What I don't really get, I guess I do get it, but I wish they wouldn't do stuff like that. See, you got to buy this whole big heavy bar just to get that joint right there, because they don't sell a joint that you can just press in there. Not that I've seen. If y'all know if they actually have a joint that you can just press in, then if this ever does wear back out, I'll know. But as far as what I have seen, you got to get this whole bar. It's probably easier to do. It's only, well, only it cost $70 to get that bar. I'm sure that the ball joint would have been, what, maybe 20 or 30 bucks. But I got the whole bar. So now we have to take the old one out and put in a new one. So let's get underneath here. I've already sprayed it down with some PB Blaster. Let me show you what we're getting ourselves into here and take a look at what we got underneath here. Okay, so I have sprayed this down already, but you can see that nut or bolt right there. You can see that. I have been spraying down the back side of this. Now it does have, on the back of it, there is a flag nut, which actually just has this little flag sticking off of it. This is just welded to the nut. So when we take that out, that little piece should drop out of it, and then our bar should be loose. Then over here on this end, we have our little joint that we need to take loose. And there is a nut and a cotter pin up there that I need to take loose. So I'm going to get to work on that and try to get that out. Alright, so we'll put the old Nico on it. See what it'll do. There we go. It came out pretty good. Huh. Yep. There is a little, what I was talking about, a flag nut. It's a piece of metal with a nut welded in it. So all you gotta do when you go to put it back in, stick it up in there, and then just stick the bolt back through. So that's actually not a bad design. I can already see it moved a little, so that means we're gonna have to use a ratchet strap or something to pull it back together when we put the thing back in. There's one cotter pin. That one fits, and that is a 21. Wow. Too big. Well, that worked. I took my grinder to the end of the pickle fork. Hey, if it works, is it really stupid? Well, maybe. Okay, so this is kind of funny. Apparently I'm going to have to use my old Zerk fitting, which hopefully threads in. Seems like it will. I think. It may not either. Uh-oh. Hold. Okay, so I went and I got the grease fitting out of the other joint, and it is different threads, so it wouldn't work. This one, like I said, it's unthreaded. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go and get the right thread pitch of grease fitting. But for right now, I took, and some of it's trying to squeeze back out too, but I took as much grease as I could get in there. I put it into that bottle there and just smashed it in best I could, so it does have grease in it. And now I'm just going to take, I found a bolt that is the right threads, and I'm going to just thread it in so that that holds that grease in, and then we're going to put our bar back in. It'll work out. Hello. The way that it's sitting, the truck probably fell downhill. So I got to pull it back up that way. And hook to the frame on this side somewhere. There. I can't tell, but you're looking right here. I want to get that hole lined up with the other one. And this is a heavy truck apparently, so and it needs to go up. Wow. I'm basically pulling the truck uphill with a ratchet strap, so it's not very easy. Okay. Man, I'm having to go get a come on. It's basically there. Go up just a little bit. It might be there. I believe that's it. So, that bolt in. Put this one in the back. There we go. So we now have a brand new track bar installed and ready to test out. Let me just see if there's any difference. All right, so yeah, we're gonna pull that out. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That is much better. That's almost no play at all in it. I mean, yeah, it does have play. I mean, it's got more play than like my Silverado does. But it's been treated a little rougher too, so it's going to have some, but that much, I can handle that much. That's not bad. Before, I was doing like this. I mean, that's not bad. All right, I think we have it fixed. Okay, so as you can see, when you get up kind of close to this truck, I know this is just body work stuff. It's not anything to be really that concerned about, but I would kind of like to get rid of some of this. But as you can see, this truck was used heavy duty four-wheeling, and apparently if there was brush or something hanging over the trail, he just kind of barreled through it, which I can kind of understand. I've done that before myself with an old Wagoneer I had. It actually stripped all the chrome off of it and everything. But I think this is pretty much clear coat, because if you get it wet, you can see that the scratches go away. So I think we can take and do some buffing on this and bring that paint back around. It doesn't look that bad at all. I think it will be okay. Really, the paint, besides a couple of scratches, you know, and stuff, and of course our rust hole there, which we'll have to try to find some color matched paint or something. But you know, you can see all these little fine scratches. Now something like that may not come out, but a lot of it will, and we may do that. But I want to get everything fixed and safe and have it on the road first before I start doing cosmetic stuff. I haven't even washed it. You can tell you can tell it's been sitting a long time. I haven't even washed it or anything. So yeah, I think it kind of shows up. Yeah, this is, I mean, if you get close enough, you can see there are scratches. I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but there are scratches. This I kind of buffed a little. Goes back into scratches up here, but down here it actually looks pretty good. That paint came right back around. See, if I clean it up and all that and get all of those scratches kind of cleaned and buffed out, that paint looks like it will shine pretty good. So all right, so I'm thinking, let's see if we can't do a little cleaning and repairing on this interior. It's kind of dirty. It's been sitting a while, dusty mainly. So I got some old rags, got some cleaner. Let's just see what we can do to get this looking just a little better. Now I've already kind of stuck the four-wheel drive shifter back in, and I had the dash back in until I started working on the shifter. So for right now, let's see what we can do here. And yeah, I'm gonna have to clean the window eventually, but let's just spray everything down real good. And see if we can't get it clean. Alright, I'll bring you back after I get this wiped down. Okay, so I got it cleaned. Paint's chipping just a little there. Okay, this dash has a hole in it. Now I have a traditional hole measuring device that all my life I've heard that this is a device that you need to use to measure to see if a hole is really big and if it's big enough to warrant repair. So let me get my hole measuring device here and throw it up here. Yep, I would say according to my traditional hole measuring device, that's a large hole. So I am going to do a repair on it, a very cheap repair, and I know there is a better way, but we're going to do it this way. You want out? Where you want out of here? There you go. Okay, so what I actually have, and I know they have much better things for this, and I may get one of these days. This is just your average, it's like just a cover. It is a fairly cheap one. Okay, vents go toward the back. Yeah, it's like 20 bucks or something like that. It might have been, at the high side, it might have been 25. Now, we're not going factory restoration here. We're going with, I can't see a hole in the dash. That's all we're going for. And this, I'll bet, will achieve that goal. And open this side too. Put the key out. Okay. Okay. So, just don't smooth it through there. Now, with that sitting there in the sun, it should eventually smooth out and might be okay. Yeah, I am very satisfied with that because, as you can see, you can't tell that there's a hole there. Okay, so we have our dash is covered, and yes, I know that there are plastic pieces that you can just throw over it. It lines up and it looks factory, and I may do that someday, but for right now this will work just fine. And we have our dash bezel that we'll put on. I think I'm going to have to do that. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have to put this on under that or over it, but we'll find out. I need to plug cigarette lighter plug in. Come on now. Plug that in. And I think I do want it over it because this is cracked too. So if we put it over it, then it's going to cover those cracks up. And the same thing as the dash mat that you can get to go over the rest of it. I know you can also buy replacement dash parts. I know that they exist, but we're trying to work with what we've got here. And hey, I think it looks fine. Now this needs wiped off and cleaned, and I may clean my four-wheel drive shifter and all that, and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Alright, so that looks a lot better. I think this truck is not too bad at all. Now there is a stain right here. I can't get that out. Well, I probably can. I didn't really try too hard, but I've got a cleaner, a carpet cleaner, and I'm going to try and see if I can get that out. I actually didn't even really vacuum it. I just kind of brushed it out. But the carpet is not that bad. Got a little mud up here, but that carpet cleaner will get all that out. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I am going to try to find some more of these. I think those probably came in a set, so I'd say it used to have the ones in the front. So I'm just going to try to find the ones for the front, because I like those kind of formats. Well, I live up what they call in the head of the holler, so mud and everything else gets all in this area. So, you know, you just can't help it. If you walk outside, you're going to get mud on your feet, so yeah. But this thing is not bad. I still got a couple more pieces to put together on the column underneath. The rest of the dash is all kind of put together. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. And there's no hole. Well, I mean, you know there's a hole, but it's not obvious. Anyway, yeah, I think it looks a little better. Now, I haven't used any Armor All or anything like that. I'm going to Armor All the doors and the dash and all that later on. But for right now, I just wanted to clean it up and see what I've got. I think it's okay. I think this truck will clean up very nicely. And yeah, I think we'll make a decent vehicle out of it. All right, yeah, it's getting a little humid. You can tell, a little hot and humid. You can tell my glasses are fogging up, so I can't see you very well. But anyway, it's getting kind of warm. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sit underneath the air conditioner and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day off. But anyway, before I go, there's a friend of mine that has a YouTube channel, and he is currently building a race car. He drives a race car, and his son drives a race car, and they go to the different local tracks around here and race. And I've learned quite a few things from his channel. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description below. It's called Team Yates Racing, and he's a buddy of mine I work with, and if y'all don't care, go check him out. Tell him Luke Fugate sent you. Anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.